Okay, everyone's starting to get quieter, so I think it's time. We better grab this opportunity. We're going to start with a hymn that's not quite as known as some of our others. So we're going to, Toby's going to play it through for us one time. It's hymn number 86, and Blessed Spirit of My Life. So Toby's going to play it through for us once, and then please rise in body or spirit. All right. Amazing. Sounded great. So good morning. My name is Randy McKean. I invite you to silence your cell phones as we move into this time of worship. We begin this morning with our land acknowledgement. By placing this basket of black oak acorns on our altar, we acknowledge the Nisenan people are still here among us today, though nearly invisible after generations of erasure and exclusion from California's history. We understand we are on Nisenan land that was never ceded, never given up, and the original tribal families have yet to recover from the genocide of their people. We commit ourselves to supporting the Nisenan in their efforts to stabilize their people and restore tribal sovereignty.
Good morning. I'm so moved by that hymn we just sung. Let love be my legacy. Whoa. Yes, please. I hadn't sung that song before. Thank you both. Our Lives Intersect and Intertwine by Tanya Marquez. It is a wonder and mystery that our paths have crossed, that in the immensity of time, in the vastness of space, we coincide here. I am in awe of the ways in which our lives intersect and intertwine, at the beauty we create when we gather. May our coming together make us more compassionate, more just, more caring, and more loving. May our hearts and minds be open to this offering. I'm so glad you're here. Let us worship. Let us marvel at the miracle of being here right now and the mystery that has brought us together.
We're going to send that flame to the kids in kids' corner. Let's sing them on their way with This Little Light of Mine.
Good morning and welcome. Morning. Please note that we do not have a time in the service for joys and sorrows, but the bowl of water and stones are in the entranceway if at any point during the service or after you would like to go place a stone to represent a joy or sorrow in your life. I'm Sophia McKean, one of your worship associates for today. I'm so glad to welcome you to the Unitarian Universalist community of the mountains, where we are a people of many faiths. Some of us, as we tend to the land upon which we live, place faith in nature and its ability to heal and regrow in the face of fire and climate change. Some of us place faith in God, in his or her or their care for us and call to work towards justice. Some of us place faith in poets and their ability to put into words that which might otherwise go unspoken in our hearts. And some of us place faith in science as we work to explain dark matter or cure diseases not yet curable. We place faith in ourselves and our ability to overcome an obstacle, even as we can't yet see a clear path forward. And we place faith in one another and our ability to hold each other in true community that celebrates and honors our individual truths. We are a people of many faiths. Come, let us worship together. I am now delighted to invite up Diana Gibson to read our opening words.
The poem I'm reading is called Sabat wa Iman. Now, in case you're rusty on your Arabic, that means patience and faith. Sabat wa Iman is a common phrase and a prominent value in the Muslim culture and is also frequently found in the Quran. This poem is by Samar Abliyati. Sabat wa Iman, patience and faith. Beloveds, we must have patience and faith. More than that, we need resilience, persistence, and perseverance. Like the lioness in your home lying in wait for the moth who flutters, taunting. Or like the flower that awaits sun's rays, peeking, unveiling, unwrapping, slowly. Patience and faith requires courage and strength. Like the refugee who travels thousands of miles to begin a new life in a new place, traversing the unknown, crossing the borders of their mind. Patience and faith means I am grateful. Like the baby who looks up and smiles while held in the cradle of love. Or like the first movement of freedom after being chained for so long in a 9-by-12 prison cell, feeling the warmth of the sun on your face. Sabat wa iman, patience and faith. It is good to have patience and faith.
We don't often talk about faith in Unitarian Universalism, and we especially didn't when I was growing up in the church. I think those of us who were not raised in this religion often have a more complicated history with the concept than me, may have been asked in their upbringings to have faith in concepts or institutions that were harmful or not of service to them. When faith is demanded of someone unwilling, it can be destructive. However, it's something I've hungered for because when it's something you willingly give, when I have reached for where my understanding has limits and yet my heart still dwells, I find faith helps me access the transcendent aspects of religious experience I so crave. One of the things in which I have faith is love. I have faith that there is always more love out there, accessible to all of us if we just continue to reach for it. I was raised to believe in the inherent worth and dignity of all people, to believe that the arc of the universe is long, but it bends towards justice. My Unitarian Universalist upbringing so infused in me a sort of opposite of a belief in original sin. I believe that people are, at their core, good, but I can't and I will never be able to prove that. When I have gone through a breakup or lost a friend or felt lonely in a new city, I have turned to my faith in love, asking myself to believe, even as I can't conceive of it during a time of loss or grief, that a different but no less precious love will find its way to me if I reach out. My faith and love has been coming to mind for me recently in light of the current situation in Israel and Palestine. Knowing that over 1,200 Israeli civilians were killed by Hamas on October 7th, knowing that over 18,000 Palestinian civilians to date have been killed by Israel, with no end in sight, even though the United Nations has called for a ceasefire, how do I reconcile my belief in an arc of a universe that is long and bends towards justice with knowing all that? It feels rationally and intellectually absurd to still proclaim a faith in love in the face of all this. At the same time, it feels emotionally vital. With the continued news out of Palestine, explanation fails me. If grasping towards intellectual understanding was all I had, I think the urge to give in to overwhelm and turn away would win. Faith, though, allows me to continue to grapple with tragedy. Faith gives me the strength to not look away as more civilians die, to continue to witness and speak about it, to continue to find the small ways I can help, to be one more person in a protest or one more telephone call to my representative. I don't know how or when the bend towards justice is coming. And still, I don't stop reaching for it. Now we're going to sing another hymn. This song we're about to sing tells the story of the three kings who followed a star foretelling the birth of Jesus. As we sing this song, some of us may feel connected to God or the Spirit and the faith that the wise men had to answer the star, God's call. Some of us may simply feel connected to the story of three wise men who put their faith in their studies and in each other in order to go seeking after something which they did not yet quite comprehend. I invite you to please stand as you are willing and able and join me in singing hymn number 259, We Three Kings of Orient Are.
Follow in yonder star.
So when I was helping Sophia with this service, we began with the title, Faith and Mystery. I was like, and I'm still like, what does that even mean? I don't know exactly yet, but I've decided I like it. In fact, I think it's my new credo. Faith could be many things: belief in a deity, belief in the power of an emotion, of certain actions, ideas. It could be belief in a person, belief in oneself even. But what is mystery? Is it any of the things I just named? So I take the phrase faith and mystery to mean having faith not in a thing, but rather having faith in a process. One that is always going to be incomprehensible in some way, never entirely knowable. One would think that would drive me crazy, and perhaps it has. But the more I think about it, the more it suits me. So why would this appeal to me? So I like to think of myself as a creative person. I perform and compose music. I love to read giant novels. I love visual art. I love going to museums. I love the stimulation of new ideas. So my favorite art is something that has an element in it that I just don't understand. An unprepared dissonance, a slash of paint, an event or passage that is unexpected and perhaps somewhat nonsensical. So I like disruption. So I am trying to understand the experience, or is it and? It is exactly this disruption that keeps me engaged with it. I am drawn to those things I never can quite comprehend. Flip the phrase fear of the unknown on its end, and you have faith in mystery. So why would I like that? What's desirable about not wholly understanding something? What's the benefit? So for me, if I'm creating something new or taking in a new experience, embarking on a new task, even meeting someone for the first time, attempting to do something I don't fully understand, this comfort, even attraction to the unknown means I can begin. In fact, it's probably the reason why I'm doing the thing in the first place. I can proceed to the next step without totally understanding the why or the what. If I try to fully understand what is happening before I move on, I often become paralyzed. I procrastinate or lose confidence in my judgments. I may have a notion of what the final product will be, but ultimately the actual result is unknowable until I proceed. I won't get to that next possible thing, the potential good or better thing, until I act. So it's paradoxical. I like those things I don't understand because they inspire this mission to understand them. The mystery means there is more than the eye, the ear, the mind, the soul can comprehend, and that is what keeps me going. So for me, a religion, a spiritual practice, or belief system, it's defined by what is indefinable about it. The thing about it that cannot be explained is the reason it exists and persists. So I'm glad I was recruited for this service. Now I know something that was unknowable about myself. I have faith in mystery.
I invite you to settle yourself comfortably into your seat. If you're comfortable, to close your eyes as we enter into a time of prayer and meditation. I will guide us through, then we will come out singing Gathered Here. As we settle in, I call to us the transcendent, what we may call the holy, God, the Spirit, our shared presence and intention. Think of a specific time you place faith in something, whether that was nature, art, God, a specific person in your life, an outcome you were hoping for, yourself. A time that you put your trust in something in a way that you couldn't fully understand or explain. I invite you to just think for a moment what that might be. I invite you to greet whatever thoughts and images and emotions are coming up for you and find one specific instance to stay with. How did it feel to have faith in something? Was it joyful and sustaining, frustrating or disappointing? Some combination of many different emotions? I invite you to feel in your body the emotions that come up for you. Do you feel your heartbeat quicken or slow, your stomach tighten or your body relax, prickles along your arms or scalp? I invite us to just sit for a minute, hold that experience in mind, and greet without judgment what it is that we feel. In Unitarian Universalism, as we strive to create worship spaces that hold the diversity of our beliefs, we sometimes seek to do so by flattening, by using less language, speaking about only the concepts and words on which we think we can all agree, instead of inviting one another to speak decisively about our sometimes contradictory beliefs. Today, I invite us to bring to this space all of the different things in which we might have faith and to let them fill the space, to coexist in their contradictions. In a moment, we'll share with one another about the instance we just meditated on, about a time that you had faith. I invite you to be as specific as you feel comfortable about what it was you had faith in and the emotions it brought up for you, whether that's joy, wonder, frustration. If you don't feel comfortable sharing specifics of the experience, I invite you to share just one emotion or thought that came up for you during the meditation. I also invite you to be respectfully curious and ask each other questions. For those of us on Zoom, I invite you to take this time to share in the chat. For those of you in the room, please find one or two people who you did not arrive with today, with whom you can share. I invite you to get up from your seat and find someone you don't know as well, if you'd like. I will ring the chimes to bring us into and then out of sharing. Thank you so much for sharing with each other. I apologize, I don't have the Zoom chat in front of me, but I have some questions. I invite those on Zoom to share their answers with each other. And for those of us in the room, I invite you to just call out, what are some things that you or another person had faith in? Reason, self. Particle physics. Relationships. That it will all work out. Navigation. Risk-taking. Imagination. Mystery. Ooh, the mystery of the salt in our ocean, our tears, and our blood all being the same. New relationships after a death in the family. And what are some of the emotions that came up for you or another person that you talked to? Joy. Love. Bumbles. Bubbles. Fear. Trust. Peace. Confidence. Surprise. Confusion and curiosity. And on the theme of surprise, was there something either from your own meditation or from your conversation that surprised you? Commonality. How did I get here? Any other surprise? Depth of knowing. Lasagna.
A forgotten mentor reappearing.
A forgotten mentor reappearing. Well, thank you everyone for sharing. Even as I was coming up with the idea for this service, I did not imagine the breadth of the things that we would have faith in. I definitely want to know more. Oh, definitely want to know more about lasagna. And I mean, even the things that I talked about, God, nature, art, there's so many more that were just put into this room. I am so in love with the image of the salt in our ocean and our tears and our blood, and what does that mean? And hearing that the commonalities can be surprising too. Sometimes, when we share, I think we can be surprised by the differences that we're able to hold, but I think also sometimes we can be surprised by, oh, I didn't say this because I thought I was the only one, and I'm not. So I invite us to keep this conversation going in, after church, in future encounters with people, maybe not even in this room right now, and just to hold in our hearts both our own faith and the breadth and the depth of all the faiths in this room. Thank you for contributing your piece today to the tapestry of our religious tradition.
25% of our offering this month will support Community Beyond Violence, whose mission is to offer resources for building healthy relationships and to work with community partners to provide services for healing the effects of interpersonal violence. Your giving is vital to our ability to sustain the work of our community. Thank you for your generosity. See the next slide for ways to give by text, PayPal, UUCM's website, or by mail. Thank you for your generosity. Thank you for this expression of your faith in the work of UUCM and extending that faith to Community Beyond Violence as well.
And thank you to everyone that helps make this service possible today. Thank you to Randy McKean, Allison Rivers, and Diana Gibson for reading. Thank you to Toby for music. Thank you to Andy Dooley Miller and Cypress for our audiovisual team. And thank you to Eileen Hale for her just such solid work, always hosting our chat. We really appreciate that. And Shanti for another beautiful setting. To our greeters, Gwen, Jean, and Corey. Thank you to Lori Bell for refreshments, and thank you to Jenny and Cheryl for the kids connection today. And thank you to all of you for being a part of this. We have some announcements. We're having a young-ish adult brunch at 12:30 today, so that's anyone in their 20s and 30s is invited to join us. And I'll be leading that. You can find us in the back at 12:30, and come say hi to me beforehand too if you'd like. Our winter solstice celebration is happening Thursday, December 21st at 7 p.m. You can visit our website for more details. We're having Christmas services. We're having a Christmas Eve for all ages at 10:30 a.m. We're having a Christmas Eve candlelight service at 8 p.m. And we're having Christmas Day potluck and carols at 1 p.m. So we'll hope that you'll join us for one or more of those. Our events calendar is color-coded, and you can check out the new key at the top for more information on upcoming events. And now I invite you to stand as you're willing and able and join in singing "Wake Now My Senses." As our time together comes to a close, may we take our faith with us out into the world and welcome the places where our reason suffers its limits. In doing so, may we find the sublime. As we leave our time together, may we carry the flame of peace and love until we meet again. We hope to see you next Sunday, and we hope you'll stay and join us for refreshments in the back. Thank you.